Hi folks, I'm Daniel, and today is Easter for most of you. Happy Easter. I'm Orthodox, so it's actually next week. It's usually 2 weeks behind because of the old calendar. But happy Easter to everyone. This is not the video I planned on making, but here we are. I just wanted to show you a little bit of an interesting background as I stand on a large crane. It's been an interesting time for me the past 11 months. All I can hint at for the people that are open-minded is that the world is nothing like we've been taught. The world is nothing like it seems. And things are more ancient than we want to recognize. I've interacted with all kinds of UAP, UFOs. I've seen beings of low-level bad and also very, very good, and you just sense the goodness of a being that, like a loving dog, that there's just love coming. Maybe you'll see some interesting things in the background. There's all kinds of, for lack of a better term, archons, cloud entities, things like this. Last night, these entities were close by, and I avoided them all yesterday. I didn't take pictures. I've been trying to stay on the down low a couple weeks. But I took one picture, and suddenly they all come. But I do believe I saw yet another biblical angel. What those are exactly, I don't know. But an egg in a rotational field. Maybe it's a little two-seater look at Earth kind of thing. Maybe it's a vehicle from the future. Maybe it's future humans looking down on us. Maybe it always was. Maybe it is a real angel. I don't know. But as soon as these other kind of evil or archon, mischievous / evil demon entity thingies it was right there. And I have a star map app, making sure it's not that, but I also was able to sit down in the same spot and watch it move. And you can see in the 3 videos I made, watch it move, and in the pictures from a look between some power wires, like on this side of the power wires, and then move to even past the middle between these other power wires on a short time frame. The Earth doesn't rotate that fast, so no, it wasn't just, I don't believe it was just a star. Certainly I've seen things that were absolutely not prosaic in nature. Most of you will not believe this, but I was happy that I bore witness to that last night. 3 of them came to me at a different job location at night as soon as I arrived. Very obviously moving and not in a line, not Starlink or something. But 3 of these angel eggs, I've seen them before, but 3 came at the same time a few days before Christmas. I think it was the 19th last year. So I don't know what it all means. I know that the world is more biblical or more magical than we've in recent times been led to believe. So that guy's eyes and face, if it will focus, there's a plane going by, banking. See if you can see some of these archons or entities. You can even see them in old movies, looking at the actors. Very obviously a face, eyes, mouth. No, it's not just a made-up word pareidolia, when I can do it any time of day in any direction. But then they notice some energy, they want to steal loose energy or something, and they come. I don't know exactly what you'll see. Now, are these old energies, old gods, old demon entities in a way, if this isn't all PSYOP, in a way, it seems like I think they're merging with AI. I think, unfortunately, AI is being influenced by demonic forces, if you will, or these other beings, archons, is probably best to. I don't know what you see. Okay, see the face here? He doesn't look that evil, this guy. 2 eyes, mouth, shape, right there. Let's just focus on that a minute while I turn around and look. There's like a layering system, like a video game. It's all kind of an illusion, man. It's all kind of like a video game. And there's layers, and nobody looks up. And I even got someone who'll try to look up at the angel and be respectful. I didn't call it an angel, but I'm like, you should be respectful. Like, look. And they don't even want to look for 20 seconds to see that it's moving. So I'm not exactly sure what my point is, or what I'm going to say, but I bared witness to some pretty interesting and wild things. No, we are definitely not alone. Okay, I did a kind of State of the Union type address. You might want to look at that. I tell a little bit of some of the things I've seen. I have on video. I don't know why Congress has completely ignored me. And there's like stages, and they're like, it's so wild, and this, like, not only is it like ET, and then this other thing, interdimensional, NHI, non-human intelligence, archons, these other things, but the whole fact that our reality isn't our reality at all, that it's a test, a video game, a matrix, if you will, a simulation. And you can see that it's a simulation, and it's kind of like this magical ancient thing, and kind of like AI, and I'm worried the AI is really getting influenced, and there's layers and pictures, and there's multiple layers. You have to see the depth, and most people don't have the spatial intelligence to see or to question. This is a kind of a face forming there, and this is here, and this is there, but it's a nice day, and it is Easter. And so I'm glad that what I think is a biblical angel, I have a picture, it looks exactly like it with 3 rotating rings, like in the movie Contact, around it. I have multiple videos of these things, but I've seen other beings that are very, very good. Now, most of it is this stuff. I don't know how strong these other things are. There's definitely other things out there. And, yeah. So once I saw my first 2 synchronized 20-sided orb things, please look at that video. I have another channel that I haven't really been plugging that has all of it. You go back to that. So it's been about almost 11 months now. That was March 13th, 2025. 2 synchronized, look like 20-sided orbs, completely synchronized. I didn't realize it at the time. And it's like, boom, the veil is breaking. I think the veil is slowly breaking for everybody. I don't know what all will be revealed, but it seems like that's what's going on. And it seems our government knows quite a bit and getting to the bottom of things. It's like, you don't really want to tell people go to 9 to 5 and we lose our power and our money and all that, when you're like, oh dude, it's hard to do that when you realize it's some kind of simulated reality, and all physics is saying these things too. Let's do that, even though I don't like how my fat looks. Let's see that guy there. Yeah, it's a big old one there. There's this guy. They're all kind of separate. There's one up there. Just take a look for a few seconds. And I know this sounds crazy, but not crazy. I have interactions with actual beings on video that nobody wants to see. That are so hard to deny. And so some of the things I've gone through, and I got the drones on me constantly, I've assumed that's PSYOP, Lockheed Martin, agencies, that kind of thing. They backed off a little bit, but they're still occasionally. I'm trying to like get them to leave me alone so I could focus on whatever this other is, but it is what it is. Anyway, lately my left wrist has been hurting right around there. I don't want to make any claims, but yeah, I think that started on July 4th. And I got a lot of interesting videos July 4th. And July 3rd, of course, was kind of the first contact where a being came out of a Tic Tac and came over a building when I was working federal property and kind of like, whoa, you can see me. I call him Slinky. There's been other beings and anything that seems like a physical or somewhat physical, whether that's interdimensional or just outside most people's visual and auditory wavelength. We really don't see 99% of the world around me. I think most people are just blind. They may be there all the time. They may be here with us. But there's a side that wants to say it's all demonic. Now, all this stuff is archons, lost souls, fallen angels, demons, I don't know. But these other beings that I've seen, starting with Slinky, and then there's this green light friend I had, another location, and all the angel eggs, and there was a seemingly interdimensional jellyfish that I know a few members of Congress have seen, and yet they won't really get back to me. Waiting on me while a white spirit flies by. So you're like, oh, 2 anomalies? And literally at the end of the video, you see that I know there's like these lined up vertical cloud entities that are more defined than these guys. They're more like, I don't know, more like a singular like entity, higher, like lined up like a judge's panel to watch my interaction with this higher level being. I know most of you won't believe it. I have so much on footage that it's hard to deny. But even if the veil starts to lift and you start to go, oh my God, you see, like people won't even look. It's so weird. The psyche, like they won't even look for a minute and go, like, you know, stuff's kind of wild. Okay, maybe you can follow my finger. Yeah, life's this is a stranger realm and more, you know, magic and technology. If technology is so advanced, it would be indistinguishable from magic. It's kind of at the point now that it's like merging and we're getting pushed in this tech. But maybe NHI has their own AI and this kind of AI, because a lot of times it just seems like random pictures and random levels in like a programmable video game. Now they react and they have some intelligence to them, but it almost seems like a programmed NPC in the Matrix and the simulation, if you will. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody by that, and it's pretty mind-blowing, but I'm not a biblical scholar. But it seems like Jesus was more about not trying to get you to follow him per se, but to empower yourself and to realize this realm or that we live in, that this strange simulation, this strange place, and to empower yourself, right, to get closer to oneness, that you are actually part of Source. You're not just part of Source, but you actually are Source, because God Almighty, Yahweh, engineered you, made you. And Yahshua, Jesus, was trying to lead a pathway, as best as I understand it. You know, we should raise ourselves up, and maybe it is a bit of like a prison planet, or these archons are trying to like keep us from self-actualization, so our spirits or souls can go back outside these kind of, you know, vessel bodies to somewhere else. And we're supposed to figure things out when we're here, and maybe we did kind of choose or get tricked into being here, but maybe we go to a celestial form or body, you know, later. And Like, we are that. We're not this hurting old vessel I have here. So spirit or soul. And I think he's trying to teach how to raise your spirit and soul, raise your consciousness up to be closer to the Most High, to Almighty, right? So I say I'm part of Source, and when I get really powerful and make these guys kind of mad, I am Source. I am will. I am my will. And your will can sort of manifest and shape reality, but it doesn't mean that's all that is either. There's definitely this other, and we're part of this other, and we've kind of lost focus on the other. That guy doesn't look that mean here. Maybe they're getting happier because, I'm in a very peaceful mood. I was actually planning to make a video on manliness, but I'm being a protector. I'm being a bit of a spiritual warrior. I'll just keep I know it doesn't really focus, but let me just keep kind of showing you around and see what you can make out. See if you can make anything out. And maybe there's something that flies in the background. It's certainly happened in some of my videos. I have actually casted out demon manta ray beings. I'm saying I'm sober. It's just wild. And the birds really, it's like they talk to me. I literally have birds that get to know me here, and they talk to me. And I've always had kind of that autism thing where kids and babies and child will turn around in restaurants and interact with me and stare at me, and dogs walking down the street are the same thing. I think you can see that guy and that guy. This guy is facing that guy. They're kind of turned towards each other. Can you see these guys here? There's another one there. It's like a bit of an alien face there. It's hard. I can't film and turn around and look at the same time. That one looks not as nice. You can also look at it dimensionally 5D. So faces are within faces looking. There's also this plate layering system, and we're not the top of the food chain. I suggest you watch this movie, The 13th Floor. Don't assume we are the top. No, we're not at the top. Should be trying to raise ourselves up. Whether it's the next go-around reincarnation, getting to heaven, or getting to the next layer of heaven, and maybe we're at the top layer of hell, and the bottom layer of heaven is where we are right now, right? And you are offered and tried to be pulled in the wrong direction. The Shroud of Turin stuff looks pretty compelling. And, I'm sorry I'm not a biblical scholar, and I don't know why I've been sort of chosen, but I think the veil may start lifting for people. And there's going to be sides of that. And originally, they're probably only going to tell you the ET part, because that's what they've prepped you for, and that's such the superficial layer. Once you start to realize there's NHI, non-human intelligence, and perhaps it's always here and been here a long time, that's a little more mind-blowing. And then you got, like Burchett saying, people really probably can't handle it, and that's kind of where the problem is to realize, we're more like in a simulation. Watch The Matrix, watch 13th Floor. The Sphere kind of teaches a little bit about manifestation and your own power. It seems like they were disclosing certain things and about USOs, underwater stuff back then, and then they pull it back. They start to give a little bit, and then they get scared and they pull it back because they don't want to lose the power, control, and the money system that's been established. So anyway, a last look. I know this was rambling, and no, you're going to think I'm crazy, but look at UAP and anomalies. Search UAP and anomalies, Dan the Wolfman. Find the thumbnail of the Tic Tac. It had instantaneous acceleration. That was the second day I saw in the sky. That's probably why the Gov has come after me and ruined my life so badly. But I've seen these other things that are definitely like good entities too. So keep that in mind. Please have a happy Easter, and try to be loving and loving of yourself. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.